Hey guys, how's it going? How is everything going in your life, in your world? I just came back from Hawaii and it was so nice being able to see family again, come back to a normalcy, if you will. Very normal there too, don't get me wrong. And I don't live in a resort all the time. So it was actually really nice being there and also nice coming home. In fact, that's something I wanted to share was just the travel experience. On the way there, everything was smooth and nice. It was and so on. And really, what I want to talk about in this is the state of flow. State of flow. State of flow is when you're at work, doing a project, doing something, and everything just comes easily. Thoughts, ideas, concepts. It's like your mind is just so engrossed and so organically connected. Everything just comes easily and effortlessly. You ever have those where you're at work and it's like, man, you're just locked in. You're so dialed into the project that time flies. It goes by so fast, and by the time you're done it, or somebody says, "Hey, it's time to go home," and you think, "Wow, I can't believe it's already 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever," and time flies when you're in flow, when you're in a good place. I have those moments many times. Usually, it's when something you're passionate about. And I also had an experience outside of it just recently. In fact, state of flow, athletes call it being in the zone. And you see it sometimes in amazing effort games when, that athlete's just on fire. They can't make a mistake. The opposite side is when you're not in flow, obviously. When things just can't seem to align itself, you can't get any momentum traction. You're just like, wow, this is something. That one I actually experienced in travel. I was flying to my very first course after COVID had locked down the world. It was in October of 2021. Such an important course. I was going to Phoenix, and if you remember, at the time, the border to the U.S. was locked down. You couldn't drive across both ways. But however, you could fly across. So there was, a lot of, I don't want to say controversy, but a lot of pissed off travelers, basically. Going from Windsor, normally I would just drive to Detroit Airport, DTW, and just fly directly to Phoenix. Might take 5 hours tops. And instead, I had to fly, I think if I can remember correctly, I flew from Windsor to Toronto, Toronto to Denver, Denver to Phoenix. That whole day, a normal 4 to 5 hour travel day, it took 15 hours. It was a long ordeal. When I got to Phoenix, my luggage was actually delayed. It was left behind in Denver, so they were either going to bring it to where I was staying the next day, or I ended up waiting I think it was another hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. I think an hour, waiting for the luggage to arrive at the next flight. And thank goodness it was the next flight, or else it would have been the next day, and I wouldn't have had any extra clothes for a little bit. So that was something. That was a day. That was a day where I was just happy to be in Phoenix and get there safely. And it was a long day. Like, it was not ideal. And I was there. Flip side of things, I was still there. This time, when I was coming home, but even before that, on Friday in Huna in Hawaii, we have what we call a volcano day, where you kind of hike across the volcano. It's about a 2 hour drive to get there from the hotel to the volcano. And in our car, we were just having really nice sharing, nice conversations. And Corey, he was driving. He had shared that he had a random upgrade one time when he was traveling to Europe, and that long flight was so much easier, more comfortable having that upgrade. He had upgraded to Delta One, I guess, where they have beds. You just, it's a bed. The chair turns into a bed. You have your own personal space, your own little cubicle, if you will, and you get sleep, you get rest. Very luxurious. And he had shared that when he landed, he was so refreshed. Instead of taking that jet lag moment of recovery at the hotel, he just decided to start his vacation and got to start a day early, which is so awesome. In that moment, I thought, yeah, that'd be great if I got upgraded to Delta One. That would be pretty cool. And in my mind, I thought, being comfortable on that flight, that would be such a great day for the whole day to be comfortable. And what would comfort mean? Ease and effortless, right? To have a whole day of being ease and effortless, traveling, coming home on a long flight, That would be pretty cool. So I set the intention, got rid of the attachment, and thought this day of travel on that Monday morning when I'm done the course, it'll be ease and effortless. And that was my IR, my internal representation of what that day was going to feel like. I was I was good. If I got the upgrade, awesome. If I didn't, I was comfortable from where I was. That was the ticket I bought, and again, I was going to come home. There was no good or bad in this. It was just, yeah, it'd be awesome if I got that upgrade, and if I didn't, I get to see family regardless, and it was going to be good. So how did it all start? We're at the Lula the night before, the last night, celebrating an awesome week of learning, a little bit over a week. And Corey had asked, "How are you getting to the airport?" And I said, "Well, I got a ride with Kim. We're gonna share a taxi. She had ordered one, reserved one." And he said, "Well, I'm heading into town anyways. Why don't I give you a ride?" I thought, fantastic. Why not? So Kim canceled the taxi. We just jumped into Corey. So gracious of him to offer that. And already it was nice. You saved a little bit of money and also great company again to share. So thank you, Corey, for that offer and for the ride. It was really easy. It was really nice to have, and I appreciate it. That was just the beginning. I got to the airport, Kona Airport, early. Had a book I've been trying to finish, and it was nice. It's an outdoor kind of airport, so you're sitting there. It was a gentle breeze, nice warm sun. It wasn't too hot. It was nice and it was perfect. It wasn't humid. It was just calm and cool. And as I was reading, they announced if you wanted to jump on an earlier flight, just come up and talk to them. And I thought, well, Honolulu Airport is a little bit bigger than Kona Airport, for those of you know who've been to both. And I thought, yeah, you know what? I think I'd rather spend a little bit more time in Honolulu. Airport has a little bit more restaurants, a little bit of offering. Excuse me. So went up, and sure enough, they got me an earlier flight, and that was really cool. The flight was quick, about 45 minutes. When we landed, it was again very easy just to kind of calm down a bit and realize I didn't really have to rush to get to the next flight. I had a lot more time. And there's a little restaurant in there that has ramen. I love ramen, for those of you that know me, so it was really cool to be able to have that moment to just enjoy a calm lunch, if you will, not rushed, sit and order. And I was reading while I was eating, and it was a very good bowl of ramen. It was really good. After I was done, waited, I walked around a little bit just to kind of get my steps in, if you will, because I'll be sitting on a long flight. The flight's about 8 to 9 hours from Honolulu back to Detroit. As they were announcing the boarding, it was going to start shortly, starting with, they're going to announce some people in, kids, families with kids who need a little bit more time, people who need a little bit more help. They were on boarding. Next was going to be your priority, and that's when it started to change. The screen at the gate started to switch, and sure enough, my name popped up, and I got the upgrade to Delta One. Very cool, very random, and very awesome. I never been upgraded like that. It was really different, and it was exciting because this was something that was part of the whole process of how I envisioned my day. I scanned my boarding pass and it beeped red. I thought, oh no, they're gonna take it away. Something got flagged. And all she said was, no, it's just letting you know your seat's been changed. You're in priority one. You're in first class, which is so cool. I walk on, and she's like, go to your left. And the first question she asked as I sat down was, would you like orange juice or some sparkling wine? Never been on a plane that offered sparkling wine, so of course I'll have some sparkling wine. It was a nice way to kind of just relax and really enjoy this moment. Got settled in, shared with my family, texted them that I just got upgraded. It was pretty exciting. It was really cool to kind of have that. Flight was so awesome. You don't even know. It's going to be hard to kind of go back, and yet it is what it is. Flight, when it was time for sleep, reclined it all the way back. Very comfortable bed. It was really nice. When we landed, to say that that was it, when we landed, my luggage, it was, I think, one of the top first 5 or 6, I guess, bags that came off the conveyor belt. So not only was everything kind of smooth, easy, and effortless, just grabbed my luggage, walked up to the conveyor belt, saw my luggage, grabbed it, and walked out and waited for the shuttle bus to bring me to parking. Again, everything was so smooth. Even crossing the border, there was no cars in line at the border, so I didn't have to wait. The agent was so friendly, so it was smooth. It was really good. Got home and I walked in the front door. There's Lizzie getting ready for school. It's such an awesome greeting, big hugs, and Kayla, who she's only 10 months old. She is our golden retriever. My goodness, between Lizzie and Kayla's hugs and kisses and licks, so good. And it was so amazing. Couldn't really have time to put my bags down with Kayla jumping all over. So excited. She couldn't even get a pet in because she was all over the place. It was really fun to have that moment with everyone. What taught me, though, was just being in that moment, being in that state of flow of just letting things happen, being so present that time just flew by. What would normally be perceived as a long flight, it was quick. Time was a lot faster. Didn't have to work a lot in the moment. And I will say, though, in fairness, I did a lot of work beforehand. The last year, you guys know, over a year, I've been working a lot on myself, a lot on things to spiral up to get to the next level. And this was a reflection of the work I was doing, that I had done, the hard work I put in. It was so awesome. And yet, either way, whether I got it or not, it was still, I was coming home. And what a way to come home. Why not choose that path? If any of this resonates with you, or if any of you really want to know, how do you get a state of flow, not just in work, not just in sports, to do it in everyday life, to walk through the life in a state of flow where everything feels like ease and effortless, even though you're working, even though you're putting in hard effort, it's still effortless. At least it seems like that. It's just fun. Shouldn't life be kind of like that? If any of this is important, or you're curious, or you're wondering, can this be something that is in your life, in your path, reach out to me. And this is what I work on with my clients, not theoretically directly working on flow, but working on the changes in your life so that life becomes flow. Life becomes fun in every moment you're in, because that's how you've arranged it. That's how you've created it. Thank you for letting me share. If, again, reach out to me, send me a message, email me. Either way, I'd love to hear from you guys, or any times you've experienced this, or any times you've had that nice, pleasant surprise. Those are fun to celebrate. Those are fun to share, and I love to hear from you guys. Otherwise, you guys have a nice week. I'm going to be back on next week, and I'm going to keep this a little bit more consistent. Please forgive me for the gaps in the videos for the last little bit. Maybe I'll do one on consistency and putting in the work. Anyways, have a nice week. Happy Easter, everyone. Have fun. Don't eat too much chocolate, or maybe eat a lot of chocolate. Whatever you want. Have a nice day. Bye.